Kiss and Tell Selena Gomez, and The Scene released their debut album, Kiss and Tell, on September 29, 2009, which debuted at number 9 on the US Billboard 200. This album marked Gomez's first major venture into music after establishing herself as a Disney Channel actress on Wizards of Waverly Place. The debut offered pop-rock energy mixed with dance-pop elements, showcasing a young artist finding her footing in the music industry. While the album leaned heavily on teen-friendly production, it established Gomez as more than just an actress dabbling in music. The second single from the album, Naturally, reached the top 30 in the United States, the top 20 in New Zealand, Canada, and Germany, and the top 10 in both Ireland and the United Kingdom. The project introduced themes of young love, heartbreak, and self-discovery that would become touchstones throughout Gomez's career. With The Scene backing her, Gomez presented herself as part of a band rather than a solo act, perhaps seeking credibility in an industry skeptical of actress-turned-singers. A Year Without Rain. Their second album, A Year Without Rain, was released on September 21, 2010, debuting on the US Billboard 200 at number 4 and was certified gold by the RIAA in January 2011. This sophomore effort showed growth in Gomez's sound, incorporating more electropop and dance-pop influences. The album deepened the pop sound established on the debut, with more polished production and stronger songwriting. Tracks explored romantic longing and emotional vulnerability, themes Gomez would continue to refine throughout her career. The title track became a fan favorite, showcasing Gomez's ability to convey emotion through her distinctive, breathy vocal style. Two singles supported the album, Round and Round, and the title track, A Year Without Rain, both demonstrating commercial appeal while maintaining the band's youthful energy. When the Sun Goes Down, their third album, When the Sun Goes Down, was released on June 28, 2011, peaking at number 3 on the US Billboard 200. This album represented the creative peak of Gomez's work with The Scene, featuring their biggest hit to date. The album embraced electropop and dance-pop more fully than previous releases, with production that felt contemporary and radio-ready. Love You Like a Love Song was released on June 17, 2011, becoming an inescapable earworm and the group's signature track. The song's infectious hook and club-ready production demonstrated Gomez's ability to compete in mainstream pop. This album marked the end of the Selena Gomez and The Scene era. After 3 successful albums, Gomez announced the band would take a hiatus as she focused on acting, though it became clear she was preparing to launch a solo career on her own terms. Stars Dance, released on July 19, 2013 by Hollywood Records, was Gomez's debut solo album after announcing an indefinite hiatus for her band. This project represented a bold reinvention, with Gomez shedding her band and her teen image simultaneously. The album featured heavy electronic and world beat themes, with influences of EDM, electropop, dubstep, techno, disco, and electro house. Working with producers like Rock Mafia, The Cataracts, and Stargate, the Gomez crafted a sound that felt current and mature, positioning herself within the EDM pop explosion of the early 2000s. Come and Get It became Gomez's first top 10 entry in the United States, entering the top 10 in the United Kingdom, Ireland, and Canada. The track, originally written for Rihanna, featured tabla beats and Eastern-influenced production that set it apart from standard pop fare. The second single, Slow Down, further established Gomez's new direction. The album received mixed reviews from music critics, with positive remarks toward the overall production and lyrics, though Gomez was compared to Rihanna on several occasions. Critics questioned whether Gomez had found her own musical identity, but fans embraced the album's confidence and party-ready energy. The album addressed Gomez's relationship with Justin Bieber, particularly on the closing track, Love Will Remember. Themes of young love, heartbreak, and newfound independence ran throughout, with Gomez celebrating her 21st birthday coinciding with the album's release. Revival was released on October 9, 2015 by Interscope Records, marking Gomez's first album with the label after leaving Hollywood Records. This album represented a true artistic rebirth, hence the title, and remains one of her most critically acclaimed works. The record was influenced by Christina Aguilera's Stripped, 2002, with Gomez co-writing 12 of its 16 tracks. The album reflected her journey since 2013, addressing media scrutiny surrounding her personal life, her on-again, off-again relationship with Justin Bieber, health struggles, and a period in rehab. Revival is primarily a dance pop and electro-pop record, unconnected by a tropical beach sound, with lyrical themes revolving around love and confidence. The production felt sleek and contemporary, with Gomez's breathy vocals perfectly suited to the atmospheric synths and persistent beats. Good for You, featuring a $A, P. Rocky was released as the lead single, with Same Old Love and Hands to Myself charting at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100. All three became Gomez's first 3 number-1 singles on the mainstream Top 40 chart, establishing Revival as her commercial breakthrough. The album opened with a spoken-word introduction where Gomez declared her rebirth, setting the tone for an introspective yet confident project. Tracks like Hands to Myself showcased sultry confidence, while deeper cuts explored vulnerability and self-discovery. The album earned Gomez her first Grammy nomination and solidified her status as a serious artist beyond her Disney origins. Rare Rare was released on January 10, 2020, becoming Gomez's third consecutive number 1 in the US and topping charts in Australia, Canada, and several other territories. After a 4-year gap since Revival, this album arrived during a period of significant personal growth for Gomez. Rare is primarily a pop and dance pop record with a dark tone, taking cues from electronic, Latin pop, and R&B styles, with lyrical themes exploring self-love, self-empowerment, self-acceptance, and self-worth. The album featured guest appearances from Six Lack and Kid Cudi. Lose You to Love Me was released on October 23, 2019, as the lead single, becoming Gomez's first number 1 single in the US, Canada, and Ireland. The pop ballad about discovering one's true self through losing a lover was written in just 45 minutes, according to Gomez's documentary. The song's stark, emotional delivery, featuring just piano, strings, and choir, marked a departure from the polished pop of her previous work. Its accompanying black and white music video, shot entirely on iPhone, emphasized raw vulnerability over production spectacle. Rare presented Gomez at her most introspective, processing heartbreak, health struggles including lupus and a kidney transplant, and the journey towards self-acceptance. The album received positive reviews from music critics at Metacritic, with an average score of 76, indicating generally favorable reviews. Tracks like Vulnerable, Ring, and People You Know showcased Gomez's ability to craft deeply personal pop that resonated universally. The album's cohesive sound and mature perspective demonstrated how far she'd evolved from her Disney days. Revelación was released on March 12, 2021, marking Gomez's first extended play and first project prominently in Spanish language. This 7-track EP represented a deeply personal connection to her heritage and a bold creative risk. Gomez collaborated with producers like Albert Hype, DJ Snake, Joe DeRosa, Maro, Neon 16, and Taney, stating the EP centers on themes of strength, love, forgiveness, and moving on. The project blends reggaeton, electro-pop, Latin pop, R&B, and alternative R&B genres with urbano elements. Gomez hired a language coach to help restore her Spanish vocabulary, work on her accent, and practice her slang, as recording was almost entirely done remotely during COVID-19 lockdowns. The effort paid off critically and commercially. Revelación was nominated for Best Latin Pop Album at the 64th Annual Grammy Awards, marking Gomez's first career Grammy nomination in a Spanish-language category. The EP debuted at number 22 on the Billboard 200 and topped the top Latin albums chart. Singles De Una Vez, Baila Conmigo with Rauw Alejandro, and Selfish Love with DJ Snake showcased Gomez's versatility and comfort singing in Spanish. The project received critical acclaim for its tasteful production and Gomez's authentic embrace of her Latin roots, with critics praising her expansion as an artist. I Said I Love You First. I Said I Love You First is a collaborative studio album by Selena Gomez and producer Benny Blanco, released on March 21, 2025, through SMG Music, Friends Keep Secrets, and Interscope Records. This marks Gomez's 4th solo studio album and her first collaborative full-length project. The album features guest appearances from Gracie Abrams, the Marias, Taney, and J Balvin, with additional contributions from Charlie XCX and Phineas. The project chronicles the couple's real-life love story, from past relationships through meeting each other to their current happiness and engagement. I Said I Love You. First is a pop, alt-pop, and bedroom pop album that also includes elements of synth pop, pop rock, folk pop, Latin pop, and hyperpop. The album opens with a voice recording of a young Gomez saying goodbye to the Wizards of Waverly Place cast and crew, immediately establishing the project's deeply personal nature. The album achieved the biggest first-week album sales for Gomez and Blanco's careers in the United States, debuting at number 2 on the Billboard 200. Singles included Scared of Loving You, a ballad co-written with Phineas, Call Me When You Break Up, featuring Gracie Abrams, and Sunset Boulevard. The album showcased Gomez's growth as both a vocalist and songwriter, with her whisper singing style perfectly suited to the intimate bedroom pop production Blanco crafted. Critics praised the album's vulnerability and genre diversity, combined with Rolling Stone naming it one of the best albums of 2025 so far. The project marks a potential farewell to Gomez's full-time music career as she shifts focus toward acting, making it a poignant conclusion to this chapter of her artistic journey.